Hey, how we doing? It's JJ. I'm just out in Epping Forest today. I'm actually working, but I've got an hour's lunch break, so I've just taken the opportunity just to have a little wander around. And this tree behind me, Epping Forest, is really well known for its beech trees. There are thousands of them, and some of them are really, really old. This beech tree here is a pollarded beech tree, and what I mean by pollarding, it's a process of pruning the top of the tree at an early age, so that the lower branches grow out and grow up really straight. And this is one of the oldest pollarded beech trees in Epping Forest, and I've actually just seen one of the forest wardens, forest rangers, and asked them if I could just quickly do a video on here, because they've actually got it closed off so that people are not continuously walking around it and wearing away on the roots. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So we've had a chat, and he's got an idea of what I'm about. So it is a really, really old beech tree, okay? And what's fascinating about this is, I'm just going to step over the rope, is the amount of bracket fungus that's on here. Look at that, it's the size of my hand. Look at that, just to give you some reference. Okay, and there are loads of it on here. Okay, so this is a type of bracket fungus that's known by its common name, which is artist bracket. Okay, its Latin name is Ganoderma applanatum. Okay, and it's known as the artist bracket because underneath here, this is where the pores spore out, and when they spore out in billions and billions. And this white level here, artists used to sort of take this, cut it back, and they put marks in with a knife. Like even as I just gently run my nail across it, the underlying fruit of the fungus actually dyes it, and it leaves patterns. And artists used to create sort of patterns like that when it's dried out, which is quite sort of fascinating in its own right. It's also called the artist's beer bread and all sorts, but yeah, it's quite fascinating. But it's also a fascinating source of tinder. Okay, now we all know that the Fungus fermentiaris, which is the horsehoof fungus bracket, or horse hoof fungus, is an absolutely fascinating source for amadou, and that's the layer that grows sort of between this sporing body, yeah, and the inner fruiting part. Okay, so you get like this, the trauma layer that you take, and it's a very thin line that grows each year as it grows up. And horse's hoof fungus is one of the best sources for amadou, which is fantastic for actually catching a spark, and it keeps a real hot ember in it. But this can also be used as well as, and you know, the bracket funguses, you know, like you've got like birch, polypore and that, they've all got their uses. I'm not actually going to show you how to process that, because this is obviously a protected tree, but it's another resource. It's predominantly found on beech and oak trees. I just thought I'd sort of take you, and the size of that is absolutely massive, and there are others all around here. There's little ones up here, lower down. They actually sort of like form like ring layers going up. Again, you know, there's more. I mean, this tree is absolutely covered in them. But yeah, it's another source, you know, if you don't have access to horse's hoof fungus, and generally you want that when it's smaller. The bigger they get, it's not that good for actual use. And again, you know, there's these two big ones here. But yeah, I'm just out a quick wander. if you want to sort of like learn how to sort of process amadou, there's a couple of people that I could actually recommend. And now you can obviously Beaver Bushcraft, go onto their website. They've got an absolutely fascinating article on how to actually produce amadou. If you check out like Paul Smith, primitive bushcraft, and that as well, he loves to use amadou. Well worth checking out. And also if you like, check out, you know, like Will Lord, Sarah Day and Jason Kalaz, you know, they're all part of the Will Lord prehistoric experience. They love to use that, and they've got some fascinating articles as well. So yeah, not always sort of found. It just, I mean, look, they stand out amazing. It is a fascinating bracket, artist bracket, ganoderma applanatum. And again, you know, if you don't have access to horse's hoof fungus, that's one that is well recommended. You know, these bracket funguses, when you produce that amadou out of them, and that you catch a spark with a flint and steel, and although it doesn't flame, it actually keeps a really red hot ember. So just a quick walk, and there you go, just something else to show you. Thanks for tuning in, catch up again soon.